Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. I am Kimberly and this is Journal Breeze, and today I am day 4 of Creep on June 2026. I'm super excited to be with you guys. I'm so glad that Creep on June was able to happen this year, and I have put together a easy, fast, glueless way to make hidden paper clips. This is my second recording, and I just took so long to do so many. So I'm going to make this quicker, and I'm going to show you one and then go over these. But first, I want to thank Tracy for inviting me to participate again this year. I love being a part of all of this, and I love the other people that are on the collaboration. And we, of course, have a place for you to share your makes besides Tracy's group, the Foxy Crafters. Please use hashtag CreepOnJune2026, and that way we can all share and see what you make. All of the links for everything, the calendar, the digitals, and the freebie, are all in the description box below. And if you're on Instagram, they're also in my bio in the link tree. So the calendar is really easy to use. You just go to the calendar, you click on the day, and it will take you directly to the person's YouTube. You can't go forward, but you can do any of those that are dates previous. So you can start late, and it's not late really at all. Don't think of it that way. So with that, I am going to introduce you to my concept. And the name of the digital kit is Once Upon a Creep, and it's inspired by Grimm's fairy tales, folklore, and mischievous woodland creatures. These adorable little woodland creatures. We get to pick and choose. Of course, I chose foxes and a mouse, a couple more foxes. These are Hansel and Gretel, and tags. And when you turn them over, you get the other side. This is actually the witch in the grandma's clothing for Hansel and Gretel. I'm calling her a stepsister in Cinderella. And I just think this castle is so beautiful that I didn't want to cover it up. And then this is the other side of the labels, and I've got charms on a couple of them. Then there's tombstones that are in there that tell parts of a story, and that's what's on this side. I chose to make this woman the mother of the prince. And before I show you take them off, I want to just tell you that there is a digital kit that's available called Twisted Tales, which is not part of the collaboration, so I won't be using it here, but it's got a lot of stuff. It's made to go along with this kit, and it extends it out and gives you pages for a full-size journal. It's a coordinating kit. Okay, so this idea that I'm sharing today started with a wrong Amazon order. I thought I was ordering transparent paper for stickers, transparent sticker paper. But I ended up getting, this paper, which is actually white-backed. Okay? It's by Joyberg, and I've linked it below for you because I really recommend it for two reasons. One, it's super sticky, and it's really easy to get the paper and the sticky side undone. For some reason, it's just really easy, but the paper is very sticky, so you don't have to use any glue. And that's what I really like about it. So when I got this wrongly, I thought, oh no, what am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with it? And then I remembered that I had seen this. It was a short that I saw first, and then it was a longer video from someone else. The short is by a woman, a crafter who makes beautiful vintage journals in Tokyo, and she's on Instagram. That's where I met her. That's where I saw her short. Her name is Orika, and I've linked her short below. And she used double-sided tape. And then when I contacted her and I said, I couldn't really quite understand it in your short, she referred me over to Furikake, who did a longer version using double-sided tape. And they became my inspiration for this very fast version that uses, as I said, it's sticky paper, but it's got a printable side. Oh, I'm pointing not to it. It looks like this. So, I really urge you to check out their videos. You have to read, so have your captions on. But that got me to this, and I think it turned out great. Now, I want to show you what this was about. This is actually going to come off this way, and this is the Cinderella carriage. That's why I made her the prince's mom. And when you open it up, it takes you to Cinderella's house. So the prince's mom said, turn back, thou pretty bride. Within this house thou must not abide." So these are available in the kit, as is this. And then on this side, I have the stepsister, and she's saying, turn and peep, here's blood within the shoe. The shoe is too small for her. The true bride waits for you." In the not Disney version of Cinderella, there's blood involved in trying on the slipper because one of the stepsisters cuts off her toe and I guess whittles down her heel. So it's crazy to Google these, what I think are the fairy tale, and find out they're so different. But I thought this was a cool way to use the corner of a page to have it show on both sides, of course, and then have this be the paperclip. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. And the reason I picked this is because they're not the same shape on either side. This one was made making this whole square the paperclip. That allows you to use it on the page and stick a lot in there. You could just, use it as a tuck spot to your heart's content. And I glued on a couple of I made them a little bit smaller. This is actually the page in the kit where I used the Hansel and Gretel and the witch, and I used these two foxes. But I printed these out at full letter for US. And on here, I did them, I think it was 8 by 10, and then maybe even not fit to size, because I wanted them both to fit. This is the size of the journal card that comes in the kit. Now, I had the paperclip stick out the side so that I would have a place to hang a charm. And you might want to decide, where your paperclipped items are going to go in your journal, because you're going to choose which side you want to have be the slip-on, And then we have our what looks more like a paperclip, and again with the charm. So I thought that was really cute. And this one is the same idea. There's a whole page included in the kit of different size labels, and I did these on cardboard. And when I did this, I actually glued this one upside down, so that wasn't too good. It said Grimm under here. So this is actually another label. I don't know if you can tell, but I glued it on top. I don't think you can tell the dimensions, but I love how it turned out. Layering this on here, it's still well within the frame, so it just looks a little more fancy and a little more elevated, literally elevated off the page. three-dimensional. So I'm going to try doing a lot more of layering of the labels and see what can happen, because there's frames on all of them, and I think it'll be fun. And I didn't stick the paper clip out far enough to make a charm on this one, so I came up with a better way to do it. And then we have our Hansel and Gretel. Now on this one, the cards are not, let's see if I can, well, I don't want to turn it down. The cards are not what is the tag. These can be written on. Instead, the Hansel and the Gretel are the tag. And it says, the old woman was in reality a wicked witch who lay in wait for children and had only built the little house of bread in order to entice them there. Well, we see it as the little house of candy, of course. So when you flip it over, there's the house of candy, and there's the wicked witch dressed as Grandma. And the tombstone says, the wicked witch left evilly and said, I will fatten you both up and eat you. And so this is the cute card that goes with it. So darling. Okay, so now that you know what we're going for, I am going to show you how to do it. So this is what we're going to make. And this, and everything works exactly the same. Exactly the same. So what I did was I laid out these body shapes. Okay, it's going to fold like this, and I'm going to want this little mouse to be on the front and this little fox to be on the back. So that's the first thing. You want to know where you're going to put it and how you're going to want it to be. I'm going to bring this down. Okay, and then I'm going to line these two up, and I'm going to overlap them a little bit on the bottom because they are going to stick out a little bit past the paper. And then I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to line up the fattest part of her, and I'm going to draw the waist into the waist and around her body, and then I'm going to end about there. So I'm going to go like this, draw around her body, and I'm going to end this. The paper here is very slippery, so that's why I'm holding it. I know it's probably making it hard for you to see it. Okay, so I'm just going up to approximately here, and then I'm going like this, and I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm going to go like this. And I'm not going to cut that line, but I need to know approximately where it is. Now it's possible, of course, to go out to the skirt. So I'm going to go out to the skirt a little bit, and then that draws the line up to about here. All right? And then on this side, whoops, it moved over. That is, okay. So I'm going to draw here. Ugh, it's very slippy. And I'm going to come out to there. When I remove them, it'll be a lot easier to see where they line up. Okay? So, and then I'm going to draw a line here because I want to cut this strip out from the paper. I know it's probably looking wasteful, but I'm going to have it here just in case I need to use it. Oh, and then I wanted to go, well, I'm just going to go here. Okay. And then I'm going to mark this mouse, fox, top, top, and front. I just get turned around and backwards, and so for me, I need to mark it. A lot of you don't have this little weird thing that I have about upside down and backwards. So here we are. Now we're going to finish drawing them. I'm going to bring this down to here, and I'm going to bring this down to here. Now we have a chance to adjust it again when we get to the, after we get it cut out. And we're just guessing where the head goes. But that's basically what we want. So now I'm going to fold this in half. Well, yeah, I'm going to fold it in half. I need to cut the head off. I need to cut, I'm going to cut inside the line, and I'm going to cut inside the line, okay, and then we're going to fold it in half. I'm being extra cautious because I just messed up so many times. Oh, just somehow, some way, things upside down and backwards. And, you know, when you're cutting unusual shapes, you've got to make sure it's just right. So now I'm going to put her back on there and make sure that that's still going to work for her. Scoot her down. Now see, she's too far below the fold. So I got to move her back up, which is why when I did it, I erased the, I cut out the strip. You know what? Okay, so I just want her to be a little bit below there. So there you go. That's going to work out better for me. Okay. Now, what's key about why this sticker paper, or whatever sticker paper you might use, works is because, or the thing you have to pay attention to is that your paper clip has to have plenty of sticky paper around it, because you end up not having to press on the paper clip itself. I mean, you can give it a light press, but you don't work your fingers into the paper clip. So that way you don't have the outline of the paperwork showing. You don't get that impression. So you want to make sure that there's enough sticky paper to attach to the thing you're putting it on. And that's why I made the skirt wider. If I just did it like that, I would use glue. But to get the width and go further up, you have way more sticky, and that way it will hold. And that's the point of all of that. Okay, now here we are. We're in better shape already. Okay, then the next thing I do is I actually cut out the shape. So let's just test her before we do that, just to be sure. Stick her out a little bit, just ever so small. And I'm going to adjust her head. And the reason I'm not going up higher into the ears and stuff, which I tried, is because it's actually a lot harder to, I'm redrawing her too. That's interesting. Okay. I did this successfully, and I just cut out a long strip, and I folded the strip first before I drew. That's what I suggest you do. So now this is what they look like, and I'm attaching them there, and so far nothing seems to be standing out. So now I'm going to cut inside the designs. Don't draw on your line, or it won't be hidden, the paper. And then I'm going to go And here, oh, that's a little close to the waist. So we're going to go here. I don't want that waist to be weak because we're entering this from the bottom and we're going to be shoving things down inside of it. So and also there's different strengths of paper clips. Some are really hard, to open and close. So find one that isn't that hard. Find one that's a little bit, that's been used, is what I thought was helpful. Okay, so now we know the fox is going on this side and the mouse is going on this side. So we'll see if these are going to be able to, yeah. But it's close on that waist. So I'm just going to cut it in a little bit more so that I don't have to, I don't know what it is, but no matter what I do, it seems like things grow. It really does. It seems like the design just grows. It's weird. Okay, then I'm going to put her a little bit below. And she also needs to be brought down a little more. So I'm going to cut that in. There we go. And put this like that. But again, you don't want to be frivolous about the paper, making it small for ease. You want to get as much sticky contact as you can. All right. Now the next thing is to punch a hole in the middle of the bottom. Not a hole, but a partial. Approximately, it's where your paper clip is going to go. And because this is a wide paper clip, I'm going to do it double. Okay. And that allows it to tuck. Now I'm going to put the short side on this side because I want that waist to have plenty. And I don't want it to go up too high. This one is a taller figure or no waist, and so it can go up higher. All right? And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the sticky paper on the fold. See how easy that came off? Okay, and I'm going to cut it down a little bit so that I can be able to see where the bottom of their dresses is really going to come. And I'm trying not to touch the paper, because the more you touch it, the more you get stuck, and the more the sticky part comes off, obviously. Okay, all right, and then this side, see how easy that is? Anywhere you go. I think what I'll do, although I like to rip it and get that ball rolling, but I think instead I'm going to do a quick snip on either side. Okay. I've made so many of these. I was making them before all this with objects that were the same shape exactly on both sides, and it was super easy. But somehow coming up with these other things, it seems to be a little bit more, which is why I'm demonstrating it. Hopefully it'll be something you haven't necessarily figured out. Okay. So now we're going to work on her first. And what I want to do, okay, first of all, let me just put this in here. Okay. So I'm going to be tearing the paper off around the paper clip. Is that the short side? Yeah, just to be sure. Okay. And what I want to do is press this so I can get her skirt started. Okay. I don't want to get my head in there. Okay. The thing is you've got to get it a little bit over, because just leaving a little bit so that the paper clip doesn't show, for one thing, and you just don't have the presence of it on your page. Okay, so looking at that and then seeing, is the rest of her body lined up in such a way that the white paper isn't going to show, and it looks pretty good. So there we go. All right, and then I'm going to take off the rest of that paper. I'm going to put my thumbnail in where the paper still is stuck and pull off everything I can by only touching this paper. There we go, and there we go. Okay, and now we're going to lay it down and hope it actually lays in the right spot. Oh, I think we did pretty good. Just one little area. Okay. So, hold on. All right. So we'll just do a little snip to get that out of there. And just so, in just case you don't know or it didn't seem obvious, if you wanted to have a charm hanging off the bottom, you would just not press the paper clip all the way down. You would stick it out. Okay? All right, now we're going to undo this side where we got it started. Okay. I want to actually rip it a little bit so that it's out from under. There we go. There we go. That's great. That'll make it easier to just bring the whole thing down once I line it up. Okay. Now it's always easier on the second one because now you know exactly how far over to put it so that the bottoms match. And then her body is wide, so I want to make sure that I have her lined up as best as I can. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, and then we just go in, we pull off, we pull down, you can still put your fingertip inside of the paper clip and then pull it off. Okay, so now let's see if she's going to line up. Looks like this corner is probably going to stick out, so I'll preempt it and just cut it off and put her down. There we go. There we go. So now you want to press all around the paper clip. Excuse me. And not really press on it because you don't want that indentation. That's important, I think. This is just a 65-pound Michael's cardstock, and that's because of the fussy cutting and stuff. I didn't want it to be too difficult, so I didn't want to use really a higher pound. All right, and then we'll put this on here, And voila! You've got your darling hidden paperclip. I made this one bigger. It's almost cuter, I think, right? The little petite one, she fits in the scene, but they're so cute that it's kind of fun. She does cover up the carriage, but then that would be cute to kind of, you know, have it be revealed when you open it. So these little guys, oh, it's got to be, wait, it's got to be on the bottom here. Hold on. So it will be on the bottom of your page. And there you go. And you can have the tombstones stick out, no problem. And same thing on this side. It's nice. So there we are, you guys. I hope that was clear. I think probably you're all such sophisticated people, and hopefully in the craft world, and hopefully the people who are new or just starting will have even learned, you know, a whole new idea entirely that's easier. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask and allow me to clarify it for you. All of them are made exactly the same. Seriously, remember to layer and just stick your paper clip out. When I did the labels, I picked ones that were approximately the same size, but that's not necessary. As you can see here, it was the same height approximately, and you can always trim one down, but they don't have to be the same on that side, obviously. All right, so please see the links to everything below and just have a blast this Creep on June. I think everybody's going to be doing fairly simple things because we didn't have quite as much time for the getting the digitals. And we're all just feeling pressure of the world these days. So I think doing things that make you happy and are just plain fun. And Tracy and Jay feel like this is an opportunity to make up your own fairy tales. So it's not about sticking to the original unless you really want to. It's really about making up your own stories and having fun with that. And enjoy. I would love it if you'd leave a like, and really love it if you leave a comment. And of course, if you enjoyed this, you'll check out my other videos maybe and then decide to subscribe. That would be wonderful. But I'll see you all later, and I wish you the funnest month. Bye for now. Take care.